verbatim 10 times more. Vengeance will be the score. A punishment will soar. Blood spills on the floor, and it's up to the bridle. We were claiming the title. Our vengeance is homicidal. Finally the recital, and it's getting real tribal. Scriptures as subtitles while we rehearse from the Bible. Revenge tastes so sweet, sweet. They mad 'cause they so they birthright. For muscle of meat. Stay messing with Christ, sheep. Now we sing aloud upon our beds as they kiss our feet. And bake them quick and leap down. For they hearts with temper so they go and hide beneath the ground. And break their bodies to shivers. To stand alone of our black God. Don't make these nations wither.
The payback.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, y'all. The payback. Oh yeah. Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all too. I said the payback.
Yo.
Ha! Hit me.
Headquarters flowed out. Goodbye, Uncle Tom, your mom, and your Patriots. Cause your NFL and lost safety nets. F a football fist cause forfeits. And more fits combined with raw hits. Edam's either a Raider or he's a Buccaneer. He even changed the shade of the faces of the Musketeers. He just pedaled the ghetto, playing puppeteer, pulling our strings with bluffs. Now we're stuck with queers. No boys allowed, NBA, but Nambler enjoys that crowd cause men be gay. The truth pierced Paul, who was a fierce soul. David was stern, I learned how he fears all. Mighty God, but not tighty whitey Bob, who's more than slightly trite. Everything in sight he robbed, with Spidey's might at odds. It's still his nightly job. He likes to ignite fights and incite the mob. Kingslayer, who even sleeps with his sister, results of illegitimate, hear the peeps and whispers. Tangle webs he'd weave, so we'd wing out. Entanglements were bred since Eve cleaved to his mouth. They set it off in Nick's pursuit of happiness. Willa Smith's waste her quick, root the nastiness. Bomb swarm and harm blondes, they call Becky. Don't be alarmed, they wreck rednecks directly. The devil rebel from peddling several booby traps. We were hated, they baited Jacob with Scooby snacks. Jinkies think we won't pick up the clues, but think these links inked into structure cues. The right Shemite won't flick for quick mammon. So I ain't sick, wildin' out on Nick Cannon. Fake fraud K-Zars, y'all full of ish. Cause real Jews been hewed from a dark mix. Tell Archie his bunker will be getting blazed according to their edict, for those were the days. Combative adages, songs and swords drawn are performed on the rabid and savages Babylon. The unchaste daughter who sitteth upon lake shores. And many waters this broad is the great whore. Esau's the beast who eats raw. When the fleet gets released, he's least and seesaw. They roll die, snake eyes die, lake fried. They'll bake side and cry for their hate crimes. Bye.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. We ain't forgot about y'all other nations too, man. Y'all gonna get y'all's too. I said the payback. Ha! Hit me.
Into my eyes, tell me what you see. I will be fulfilling every prophecy. Esau gotta pay for his atrocities, murdering and killing all the kings of my families. God got my back, ain't no stopping me. We the judges of the earth. You a wannabe. Repented of my sins, now it's God in me. They gon' see the beams in my eyes, no hypocrisy. For all these damn years, I was your slave. You don't get no credit, but you gotta pay. Wanna bump your lips? I'ma cut them out. I put them in your hands, I make you watch your mouth. This is what you get for disintegrate. When disintegrate with your head, you disintegrate. Wicked Babylon, make disintegrate. Christ invaded V4, miss a piece of cake.
Piece of cake mean the taste of vengeance is sweet. You gon' be bitter and trying to be friends for peace. After I served you when you told me how to cook your meat. Next is a mouthful of blood from the raw beef. Castrate him, doing the same thing he did to me. I'm making you knock like when you lose your keys. What's your name, boy? Oh, you ain't trying to speak? Grip my rudder eye and then waste it away. See, the side he saw reminds him where he used to be. A carcass mountain made from his family tree. He trying to make me fall in sin with all that smooth talk. The only time I backslide is when I moonwalk. In the kingdom, no escaping if you break the law. I'm hitting up the 5th rib, no Isaiah 4. You sodomite kids, you trying to explain the queer? Not even transparent's gon' make it clear. Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight pay back on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation.
I had dreams of pushing the Maybach. Big money, Cuban links and make stacks. I'm finding out my history from slavery and way back. So it's only right I give you the whips and chains back. No bail for a fugitive, what is bond? It's 2020, so it's clear to see the vagabond. Who's the real Jews? It's a face-off. Iconoclasm, take his face off. I ain't talking clothing line, but this right here, the true religion. Came from the chosen line, my mind is focused on the mission. I ain't never make a dime off the plantation field, but still generating profits in my Levi jeans. You gave me mad labor, I just do it like night. Worn out like all Adidas, I got scars from the stripes. You gotta pay with your life, I ain't showing no pardon. I'm here to collect debt, and it ain't no bargain. Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight pay back on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation. Me a no hold for me two-head suit. Fi thinking you stand a chance, you two legs gone. Head crop on the floor like a few eggs fall. We are the real Jews, fool who are the bootleg farm. Cause when no time to feed them a go horrify. Them think them come feed, me make them solar pride. You gonna eat your faces, fi keep you alive. Try to kill himself because them food was on the suicide.
It's past 10:30, we in the 4th quarter. When it strike 12, time of your hands is getting shorter. Bruce Wayne can't save the day cause it's a dark night. No turning back the hands of time, I'm putting out your lights. We raising the bars like it's a workout. 5 G's hit the streets to push the work out. YouTube and Viacom trying to shut us out. Via communication, send the hitters out. ADL been getting busy with the tricks. Fake Jews operate the mouth of the dragon. Thought you heard us, but that was a little nick. Many bodies getting hit when I fire this cannon. I leaped in a battle, that was my longest jump. I came to pull cars, I'm ready to dump. I am honored a victory over bodies slumped. Somebody tell Donald that I'm the real Trump.
Me a go call me plantation damnation, cause I straight pay back on this damnation. Most I declare the end from creation. In a the God of vision, me put me salvation.
So until we admit we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, we are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go.
We stand together like legs on a centipede and put our knees in the neck of our enemies. I don't got no time for no negative energy. It's hard to get oppression out of my memories. Yeah, why are we supposed to be passive? Edomites out here acting real blackish. Black lives really don't matter till Christ come back and turn the world into ashes. Yeah, yeah. See, we gon' need some payback ASAP. Oppression make a wise man mad like Deacon Asaph. See, they ain't trying to pay the fee for slavery. Whitewashing entities striving to erase black. We gotta face facts, gotta be rational. I'm reppin' IU, we everywhere, international. We need our land back, absolute, non-taxable. And it's a real revolution, that's factual.
Deacon Labaca, it's hammer time. Focus when I handle mine. Romans in that chapter 9, exposing all they fascist lies. We the ones they patronize, they the ones we agonize. With broken bones and blackened eyes, the toll of death we maximize. And if you plan on making the kingdom, then let's go. We kicking in doors, burning down walls, no asbestos. And I'ma tell you straight and direct, no innuendos. And we gon' get away with it, why? Because we special, huh? And when that sky crack, it's over for a heathen. Can't forget the 2/3 of my people stuck in treason. Celebrating holidays ain't even got a reason. So I'm sticking Santa's head in a bag, cause 'tis the season. that zoonosis was the cause of the COVID. Then they switched the focus to killing us in the open. But that ain't new, they been throwing Jews in the ocean, you know. Gator baiting the black babies for tokens. Them little henchmen been Willie lynching for a pension. Then they sent the agents of Satan to cause dissension. Yeah, we the chosen, but still ain't learning a lesson. We gotta keep the laws if we really seek the vengeance. This the payback, charged up since way back. The Lord got a spirit bomb, no man can escape that. And all you cats to rock, word to Deacon ASAP. It's repent or die, ain't no easier way to say that. They realize that my family ties could cause demise. They try to cause divides and they conquer, but they compromise. All I see is death and dishonor being personified by bonafide basement in the basement where they mom reside.
The payback. Oh, that's right, y'all. This is the payback. Oh yeah, Esau, you know what's coming for you. You know what's coming for you now. And listen, the payback. Ha, hit me. Ah.
You would've thought they seen it coming. The patience of the saints, man, we waiting to see them plummet. We talking basement, even the basement above them. It ain't gonna be no more running, ain't gonna be no more of them. We see the seed of Satan deceiving, but we been waiting. When he come with flame, it's gonna be Edom that need the saving. So face it and read the book of Revelation. Obadiah, Isaiah, either way you wanna play it. I seen slaves on the horse, kings walk the earth. Time to flip it back in order, Uno card reverse. The time is ticking till the slaughter come that y'all deserve. The time is ticking till the daughter of Babylon burns. You gotta know we coming. You stole the chosen land, just know the plan. The son of man is coming, then it's over for you. Go grab some soap or something, cause blood is on your hands. So don't misunderstand the payback coming like we owe you something. Right.
Affiliated with any other Israel. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus 5:1.
Christ. Yeah, that's right. I said Christ. I see Christ in you. You're my brother. I see Christ in you, bro.
I esteem all my bros to be better than me. Truth be told, truth be told, this is what we must do to avoid envy. Truth be told, truth be told, and blacks and Hispanics are family. Truth be told, truth be told, I just pray you see Christ when you see me. Truth be told, truth be told.
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless. You are now tuning into Truth Be Told DC, broadcasting live. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear the truth according to the Bible. Hosted by IUIC DC. For music, clothing, and instruments of learning, visit originalroyalty.com and israelunite.org. Shalom.
Shalom, fam. Welcome back to Truth Be Told DC. I'm Officer Matthew, and to my left,
Officer Phineas.
Officer Mendel.
To my right.
Officer Micah.
So today's topic is climate change. Is it of man or of God? So we're going to get into the scriptures to see. Because all this talk in the media about carbon tax, carbon emission, global warming, we're going to see who's the real culprit behind global warming and erratic weather. But before we get that, let's get John chapter 8, verse 32.
The book of John chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the truth is that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans make up the 12 tribes of Israel, and you're called to repentance in these last days. Understand, we are indeed in the last days. Let's go ahead and open up with the book of Nahum, chapter 1.
The book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power.
And what?
And great in power.
So the Lord is great in power. That's why he's called the Most High God. Read.
And will not at all acquit the wicked.
That's why all this foolishness is going on we're seeing on the earth. Understand this, nobody's getting away. Believe that. Read.
The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind. And in the storm.
And in the what?
And in the storm. And the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Nah, brother, it's going in the cow fart to make the clouds.
And the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Right, because it's all this stupid thing about the storms being made by cows farting and all this nonsense. But the scriptures say those things is the clouds of the Lord's feet, man. The dust of his feet. You want to say something?
Hey, it's just like that crazy Edomite woman that said the solution is killing the babies because they taking up too much carbon.
Right.
And I wanted to add, that's the whole thing behind the climate change agenda is population control and reduction. So don't get it twisted. And taxes, the carbon tax, because a lot of people, when they talk about climate change, they don't understand what they're trying to push is a global tax. If people remember, what was that, Paris, Officer Matt?
The Paris Climate Accord.
Where they tried to pass it over there, and they had them protest, yellow vest protesting.
Right.
Because their gas went up, I think it was like 100% or something
Yeah, it
like
went
that.
up. It was through the roof. They couldn't even afford it. That's why they had, what was that, like 2 years ago when they had the yellow vest protest in Paris? It was about the tax or the increase in gas prices for the stupid carbon garbage.
Yeah, somebody wrote in the comments, did he say cow fart? Somebody find that video.
Yeah, somebody pull the thing up about the cow farting. We ain't making
Bill
that
Gates.
up. Yeah, y'all boy Bill Gates.
Bill Gates said he got to kill all the cows because they're farting and it's making the temperature change in the planet.
So this dude goes from Microsoft. Now he's a virologist. Now he's an environmentalist / media. And he's a weatherman now. What the hell is up with this dude?
Hey, but meanwhile, this joker ain't even fixed the viruses in Windows 95.
Right. It's ridiculous. We got that video. Because we not making up no man. Ain't no way no brother's going to make up cow farting to damage in the atmosphere. Ain't no black man studying cows farting, man. That's foolishness, man. Pull that idiot up, man. This damn devil.
Cow flatulence.
Right. Raising the ozone. Look at this dude.
And so moving away, the term clean energy has handicapped the field because that makes people think, well, maybe it's just electricity in passenger cars, and they don't see agriculture, industry, buses, trains as part of the problem.
One crucial part is agriculture, and one thing you said you were particularly surprised by was how great a problem bovine flatulence is. Do you want to explain what that is? That's a problem?
Yeah, so the animals that can eat grass have very unusual stomachs that have these bacteria that are methanogenic in there, and so they leak natural gas both out the front and the back. And so people have said, well, let's change the hay or throw some things in there. And it's been, nobody knows how to get rid of
that. How to get cows to stop farting.
Exactly, or burping. And so there is artificial meat, but that's at a very early stage. But that's another big source of greenhouse gas emissions. So, I'm just trying to make sure that the people who
This dude talking about artificial meat. Understand, this dude is talking about killing all the cows. We seen, matter of fact, get that Deuteronomy 28, man. Watch this, the same spirit, man. Talking about killing the damn cows. They already killed most of the buffalo. This dude rolled in the same spirit. Like, who's down there smelling cow farts to analyze and say, this is a problem for the atmosphere, man? They're telling me, man, this dude is the devil, man. Read that. I want right there, verse 31.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
And we about to see that this dude talking about, well, they got artificial meat out there. Nobody know how to get rid of the cow farts. You know this dude's talking about killing all the cows.
Yeah, and he wants to push that artificial meat because their ultimate goal is to control the food supply.
Right.
So
To
you can't
starve you
have
out.
animals. They're going to create some meat or something that's going to kill you, along with the GMO foods and all that. That dude is literally Dr. Death.
Man, that dude. Let's go to the next scriptures. That dude get me hot. Get Isaiah 20. Yeah, get that in Sirach real quick. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 13. By his commandment, he maketh the snow to fall apace.
He does what?
By his commandment, he maketh the snow to fall apace.
Right, not cows farting or greenhouse gas emission. Read.
And sendeth swiftly the lightnings of his judgment.
He does what?
Sendeth swiftly the lightnings of his judgment.
So he's sending the swift lightning of his judgment.
Though this the treasures are open and the clouds fly forth as fowls. By his great power he maketh the clouds firm. And the hailstones are broken small.
Right, so that go what we just read in Nahum. The clouds are the dust of his feet. The Lord is doing that. So this guy's out here analyzing emissions and cow. The dude said burps. He said to come out there the front and the rear. What's going on with this dude, man? Let's drop that, man. Let's go to Isaiah 29 and 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder.
With what?
With thunder.
Read.
And with earthquake. And great noise.
Wow.
With storm and tempest. And the flame of devouring fire.
Wow, we seeing them flames divine right now. But let's roll this video real quick. Let's roll this video talking about these tempests and these storms, man. Go ahead and play this video real quick.
I did not think we'd see anything like this. Oh shit. Farm right up here. Don't, please don't hit that farm. Holy. I am. That's a violent tornado. Oh my god. That's the most violent motion oh my god. Get across the road right up here. Oh no! It's hitting that farm! No! Oh no! Oh no! Come on. Be okay. Man, oh no, there's the lines. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god.
Love of Jesus, Ace Christ. I've got it perfect position.
Where's the 5D?
Man, that thing was vicious, man. That thing was vicious. He had a serious camera to pick that footage of it. You saw the lightning or the electricity from the power lines. Lord not playing no games, man. He's sending these storms down and tearing up some stuff. So let's go to Psalms 83.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 13. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind.
And that's what we saw, read.
As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
Read.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
Do what?
Persecute them with thy tempest.
You see that persecution with that tempest, read.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
You saw the dude saying, oh my God. Oh, he was devastated. He was afraid, man. Read.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord.
Wow, man, that thing right there, that's for us. We need to see that and recognize the power of the Lord and seek the Most High, because that's who's doing these storms. It ain't no greenhouse gas emission, CO2 and ozone depletion. No, the Lord doing that, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because then they talking about it's droughts and all this, California not getting any rain. Let's see. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust.
The Lord, the who?
The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder, and dust.
Because they talking about all these fires as a result because it's no rain because of global warming. The scriptures say the Lord going to make the rain powder. You want to say something, officer?
Yeah, I was going to say, they just passed the pedophilia law out there.
Exactly, and he burning that place up.
Yeah, they getting judgment out there, man. You passing laws like that, it's crazy, man. The Most High is jacking them up.
All praise to the Most High. That's some sick legislation that went forth out there. Understand that. Right on cue with what France just passed that law. They introduced it in 2018, reducing the age of consent to 15. It just went through. And then they the same country that rolled out the cuties. Understand that. That Netflix documentary or whatever the hell you call it. That's why the Lord is bringing swift judgment, man. So let's go to the book of Job.
The book of Job, chapter 37 and verse 9. Mm-hmm. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. Mm-hmm. By the breath of God, frost is given.
Hold up, what?
By the breath of God, frost is given.
Al Gore talking about the polar bears is going to be out there drowning because the North Caps is melting or whatever you call it. Read that again.
By the breath of God, frost is given.
That's who's giving the frost and who's withholding the frost. Not Al Gore and his dumb, what did he call that thing he made up? That stupid movie he made? He made some dumb movie and none of that garbage came to pass. All foolishness, man. Read.
And the breath of the waters is straightened. Mm-hmm. Also by watering, he wearieth the thick cloud. He scattereth his bright cloud.
Read.
And it is turned round about by his counsel.
It is what?
It is turned round about by his counsel.
The Lord stirring up the stores by his counsel, man. Read.
That they may do whatsoever he commanded them.
Right. So you got your Doppler radar, your storm tracker and all that. The Lord is commanding where them storms is going. Read.
Upon the face of the world and the earth.
What?
Upon the face of the world and the earth.
Right. So you said they got video footage from outer space, them storms just going all over the place, man. Understand it. That's the Lord by his counsel.
He causeth it to come, whether for correction.
Hold up, what?
He causeth it to come, whether for correction.
Whether for correction, read.
Or for his land. Or for mercy.
Right, meaning what? He bringing them storms. Some of them storms, he out there correcting people with them tornadoes, hailstorms. Other, he bring the rain to what? Show mercy, man, that it'll water the crops. Put out the wildfires. So you understand.
Hearken unto this, O Job. Stand still and consider the wondrous works of God.
No, greenhouse gas emissions.
Stand still and consider the wondrous works of God.
That's of the Lord, man. Not any you driving an SUV changing the weather. That's some of the dumbest mess. And our people believe in that garbage. They got the Pepco cutting off your air condition, talking about peak use and all that. No, I'm running my damn AC. Understand that. So let's keep it moving. Where we at? Let's roll this video real quick.
Hit the Caribbean. At least 37 people were killed there. St. John, one of the United States Virgin Islands, may represent Irma's worst impact on American soil. Tony DeCopo went there to talk with survivors. This morning, he's in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Tony, good morning.
Good morning. San Juan has become a lifeline between here and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we followed that lifeline to St. John where, well, it looks like winter. It is not a lush tropical island now. Everything is brown, and the damage is nearly atomic. At Cruz Bay, which should be bustling with tourists, there is very little stirring after most of the island has evacuated. Take a look.
We need to let everybody know how bad it is here.
Tommy Young moved from Boston and made Coral Bay St. John his home in 2007.
We're on the other side of the island. We're totally devastated. We've lost homes, we lost roofs, we lost vehicles.
What does your home look like?
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Irma hit the Virgin Islands as a Category 5 hurricane with 150-mile-an-hour winds. The storm changed the 20-square-mile landscape of St. John, stripping the leaves off trees and making the hillside look charred. As we sailed into the island's largest town, Cruz Bay, we saw that even the U.S. Customs Office was a total loss. It is a ghost town in an area that would typically be bustling with tourists. Everything is still, with the exception of construction, aid workers, and recently, members of the U.S. Navy, who are here now to restore order.
The schools are gone.
Nearly every building on the island is damaged or destroyed. And this is what an advance team from FEMA saw Tuesday as they surveyed the island for a command post.
You're sure there's nothing else on the island other than this room right here?
This is the only building that's left standing that will be usable.
Okay.
I'm dead serious, folks.
Yeah. Roughly 5,000 people live on St. John, an island in American hands for 100 years.
You live here, it's your island.
It's your island also.
This is your home.
Yeah, but guess what? We have no control over it. It's gonna take time, but we'll be back. Paradise will be back. We're down, but not out.
Tommy Young told me he is grateful, even if his next steps are unclear.
There are people like myself who've lost everything. The clothes on my back are from others.
These are borrowed.
Yeah.
What's it gonna take for you to...
He a vagabond anyway. What are you crying about? Go back to that Job 37 and 13, man.
The book of Job, chapter 37 and verse 13. He causeth it to come, whether for correction.
That's what it looked like down there. Man, well, I lost everything, mate. Yeah, you haven't seen nothing yet. Read.
Or for his land, or for mercy.
Right, so we understand that thing came in there for correction. Understand that, man. So let's go to Jonah.
The book of Jonah, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for the wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish.
So he thought he was going to get on the ship, read.
So he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea.
Hold up, what?
But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea.
Right, not the wind from cow farting. Understand that, read.
And there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken.
Man, this thing was so heavy, almost broke the ship, read.
Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man unto his God, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it of them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep.
So they looking around, they throwing over their stuff overboard. They got this cat downstairs asleep. They already hip something ain't right. This dude in the dead giveaway.
So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper?
This dude, like, how are you down here sleeping? We about to drown. Read.
Arise, call upon thy God. If so be that God will think upon us that we perish not. And they said every one to his fellow, Come, and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us.
Hold up, this what?
For whose cause this evil is upon us.
Global warming not in the scriptures. Read.
So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah.
Right, so they trying to figure out why this storm coming this way. They didn't look at the meteorology report or go analyze CO2 emissions. They cast lots and it fell on Jonah. Read.
Then said they unto him, Tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us. What is thine occupation? And whence comest thou? What is thy country? And of what people art thou? And he said unto them, I am an Hebrew. And I fear the Lord, the God of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then the men were exceedingly afraid.
So they already knew who we were, and they knew who our God was. It said they were exceedingly afraid. They was already scared, but now they even more scared. They're like, the God of the Hebrews is down here. They already knew what time it was. Read.
Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said unto him, Why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he had fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them.
Read.
Then said they unto him, What shall we do unto thee, that the sea may be calm unto us? For the sea wrought and was tempestuous. And he said unto them, Take me up, and cast me forth into the sea. So shall the sea be calm unto you. For I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. Nevertheless, the men rowed hard to bring it to the land, but they could not. For the sea wrought and was tempestuous against them. Wherefore they cried unto the Lord and said, We beseech thee, O Lord, we beseech thee, let us not perish for this man's life, and lay not upon us innocent blood. For thou, O Lord, hast done as it pleased thee. So they took up Jonah and cast him forth into the sea.
Ain't waste no time. They got that joker straight off the boat.
And the sea ceased from her raging.
Right. They already knew. They weren't confused about who was controlling the weather. They didn't have Dr. Death them, you need to eliminate cows, stop driving, live in concrete buildings, pay tax so Al Gore could put an air conditioning unit on the side of the planet to cool it down, and all this other foolish nonsense they got. You want to say something, officer?
I was just going to say, you think about it. He want to kill the animals, the people. He want to kill everything.
But himself.
Yeah. Man, he the number one thing that need to go.
You want farmers out there holding their cows' mouths and stopping their butts up so gas can get out.
This dude is... Anyway, man, let's go to Luke chapter 8, man. Let's see some more about these storms and who controlled them, man.
Luke chapter 8 and verse 23. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filled with water and were in jeopardy. And they came to him and awoke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. Then he arose and rebuked the wind.
Hold on, he did what?
He arose and rebuked the wind.
How you rebuke the wind, man? That thing is crazy. You don't even know what that even looked like. How you correct the wind, man? That's some power right there, Reed.
And the raging of the water, and they ceased, and there was a calm.
Right, so he came out there and rebuked the wind and calmed the wind down. That's real power right there, man. Understand that, man. That's why the God we serve, man, is the true God, man, the true power. So let's go and send Christ down. He rebuking the winds, man. Come on, man. Understand that. That's why they seeing this, all the stuff coming on earth. They know what's about to come. You got this man rebuking winds when he was in the first time. Imagine what he's going to be doing in his second return. He's going to be doing a whole lot of rebuking, so you understand. So let's go ahead. Let's get that.
The book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 11. And the Lord shall guard thee continually and satisfy thy soul in drought.
So the Lord he does what?
And the Lord shall guard thee continually and satisfy thy soul in drought.
So the Lord makes the droughts, read.
And make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose waters fail not.
Right, so the Lord also look out for his people even during a drought, because the Lord causes the droughts, man. That's what we got to understand.
All right, let's go to Psalms 107 and 29. Let's go there real quick.
The book of Psalms chapter 107 and verse 29. He maketh the storm a calm.
You see that? That's what we just read, what Christ did. He rebuked the sea. He made the sea calm. He just calmed it down. So, they telling you that all of this bad weather is because of the carbon emissions and all of this stuff they got to do. Man, that's a whole bunch of nonsense. Read.
And he bringeth them out of their distress. He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still.
Read. Go down to jump down to 33.
Verse 33. He turneth rivers into a wilderness.
And isn't that something that's going on now? The Euphrates is drying up. That's a prophecy right there. So he could turn a river into a wilderness, meaning a desert. Read.
And the water springs into dry ground, a fruitful land into barrenness, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein.
So you can have fruitful land, a bunch of crops and stuff like that, and next thing you know, he make the everything go bad in there. But just like what it was brought out earlier, it could be done for correction. It could be done for blessings. You understand that? So the Most High is in control of all of that stuff. And what we got to understand is Esau, he always tried to capitalize off of people's ignorance and things like that, taking advantage of people. Go ahead and run a video real quick of Hurricane Irma. Yeah, go ahead.
The British Virgin Islands look like they've been hit by the blast wave of a bomb. On the biggest island of Tortola, houses have been ripped apart and contents scattered for miles. An over 20-foot wave surge crushed boats, beaching them among the rubble.
It started off with wind.
Oren Glasgow was at home as Irma hit.
This section of my mom's room, the roof came off. Then my bedroom came off. We went to the living room. Glass started to burst. We had all of this boarded up.
You've lost everything.
Everything.
People talk about the winds that came through here as if they were alive, as if it come from another world. And now, 5 days after the hurricane struck, they're in desperate need of food, of shelter and clean water. Others are just simply desperate to leave. The shock of seeing this terrifying force of nature is overwhelming. Some are trying to fly home to relatives in the UK. The Masson family made it to this shelter after neighbours with machetes hacked through debris to help them hike from their damaged home.
We don't know what planes are going or when they're going. Literally this morning was the first time we'd really had any news at all of what was happening.
Some residents have criticised the UK government's response to this crisis as pathetic and slow. There are also reports of looting across the island as many are desperate for basic supplies. There are large queues for food and for petrol. Help has now arrived. The British military have brought aid and are already re-establishing order. They're working on a plan to try to restore power and water. One woman told me she wept with relief as she saw the plane land. Hurricane Irma's trail of destruction is vast, and yet the Caribbean spirit prevails. As our team walked the streets, so many people told us the same message. They are simply grateful to be alive. Laura Becker, BBC News, Tortola.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all was paying attention, but when that brother was standing in that house that everything was gone, that was a cinder block house. I mean, they build those homes down there, and that storm just tore that thing up. Let's go back to Psalms 107 and 33, read down to 35.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107 and verse 33. He turneth rivers into a wilderness, and the water springs into dry ground, a fruitful land into barrenness, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein.
You see that? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein. So I mean for sin. Read.
He turneth the wilderness into a standing water.
And that wasn't a wilderness, but read.
And dry grounds into water springs.
And that dry ground. So that dry ground they were out there was just water everywhere. Everything got washed away. The boats all piled up in the corner and all of that stuff. You know, he devastated that island. But, you know, that's judgment because, you know, our people in sin. He's trying to get our people to come back to him. All right, so let's go to Acts.
The book of Acts, chapter 27 and verse...
Hold on real quick. Let me get it.
Acts chapter 27, verse 9.
All right.
Now, when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past.
Letting you know they were still keeping the fast. In Christianity, you know, they don't keep none of our high holy days.
Paul admonished them and said unto them, Sirs, I perceive that this voyage will be with hurt and much damage, not only of the landing and ship, but also of our life.
So Paul trying to give them a heads up. Look, this voyage ain't going to go the way y'all wanted to go. The Most High is speaking to him. Read.
Nevertheless, the centurion believed the master and the owner of the ship more than those things which were spoken by Paul.
So disregarded the words of the prophet, going with the sinful men. Jump down to verse 14.
Verse 14. But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Euroclydon,
which is a storm. Read.
And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive.
So they just let the wind take the ship wherever it was going. Read.
And running under a certain island, which is called Clauda, we had much work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used helps, undergirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksands, strake sail, and so were driven.
So that's to let you know they was working hard to try to save this ship. It was pandemonium on the ship. Read.
And we being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, the next day they lightened the ship.
So they threw the load off the ship.
And the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared.
So it's letting you know that the storm was going on for many days. They didn't see the sun or the stars. It was dark out there because of the storm clouds.
Right, and let you know they was navigating using the sun and stars. That's not anything new. They think Christopher Columbus discovered that. That's why that was in there.
And no small tempest lay on us. All hope that we should be saved was then taken away. But after long abstinence, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, you should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed from Crete.
You see that? He let them know, look, you should have listened to me. I told y'all what it was. Read.
And to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship.
So let them know their ship is done.
For there stood by me this night the angel of God.
The angel of who?
The angel of God, whose I am and whom I serve.
Read.
Saying, fear not, Paul, thou must be brought before Caesar. And lo, God hath given thee all them that sail with thee.
So God had a purpose for this storm. Let you know that God is in control of everything. This storm didn't just come up out of the blue or something like that. God was in control of the whole situation. Read 25.
Wherefore, sirs, be of good cheer, for I believe God, that it shall be even as it was told me.
So if God didn't control the weather, how would he tell them what was going to happen? He controls everything. Esau is out here trying to tell people that cows farting and all these things is controlling the weather. What a lot of people don't know is in the early 70s, it was global cooling.
Right.
Then
that
it
was
went
a
to
big
global.
fear.
Then it went to global warming, and now it's just climate change. The climate changes from the morning till the afternoon. The climate is always changing. It's based on the sun. When the sun is up, the climate is warmer. When it's down, it's less.
Hey, and if that's the case, what about all the humans farting? We fart way more than cows, all the crap we be eating.
Oh, don't worry. Bill Gates got a plan for you.
Yeah, he trying to kill all y'all. Especially
that's billions of farts.
Right, that's why he over there vaccinating people now. He got the cure for that.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 12 and verse 18. So Samuel called upon the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day.
Hold on. Who sent thunder and rain?
So Samuel called upon the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day.
The Lord sent the thunder and rain. That's who's sending that.
And all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel.
Oh, no, they was fearing global warming.
And they greatly feared the Lord and Samuel.
That's the bottom line right there. Let's go ahead to next scripture, Jeremiah.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 12. He made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heavens by his direction.
So hold on, you got a God that made the earth, the heavens, everything, but yet you're gonna tell me that he don't control the weather? That we down here, you start up your car engine and the temperature goes up? Come on, man.
And you need Bill Gates, a once computer guy. Now he's an environmentalist, meteorologist, and virologist to tell you how to cool the planet down.
I'm telling you, man. The Edomites, and that's the thing, they so
Just
arrogant.
pride, man.
Because they so used to everybody believing everything they say. You understand that? So they can just get up there and make something ridiculous. They like, oh, these niggas will believe anything. Now I just tell them it's cows fart, the temperature change. Like, come on, man. It's the hoax is over with.
It's sad because the majority of them will.
Yes, you got a lot of people that believe it.
That's why he always on MSNBC and CNN, because that's where our people get their information from. That's why we telling y'all to repent and come out of that foolish nonsense, man.
All right, so where we at now?
Verse 13. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth.
Let you know that, man, that's something. He got just waters in the heavens just waiting to be released.
Right, and that's going to your evaporation cycle is what that's talking about.
Yeah.
He maketh the lightnings with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures.
It's out of his treasure. Let you know that he controlling everything. Is that it on that? Yeah, that was it. All right, so let's go ahead and roll this video from the New York Times.
Hey, when you got a body, I'll take the body.
Yeah, that wasn't the video we were looking for, but we'll get it. We'll keep it moving. Let's go to James.
The book of James, chapter 5 and verse 17. Elias was a man subject to like passions as we are. And he prayed earnestly that it might not rain.
He prayed what?
He prayed earnestly that it might not rain.
So he prayed that it might not rain. Read.
And it rained not on the earth by the space of 3 years and 6 months.
Can you, man, a man throw up some prayers, a prophet throw up some prayers, and it don't rain for 3.5 years.
And he prayed again, and the heaven gave rain.
You see that? That's like you know that the Most High controls everything. He even put it in the hands of a prophet to control the weather. That's some heavy stuff right there.
And the earth brought forth her fruit.
You got the video? So we got the right video. We're going to run the video we were looking to run.
Whoa.
Wow, look at the visibility here. I don't understand why you guys don't have your lights on. I could barely see you. Barely see you. Look at this. Lights. Turn your lights on, people.
There's just a little samples of what the Most High can do, man, with this weather. That's a small thing for him. Let's go ahead to Leviticus.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 2. Ye shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord.
Read.
If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Then I will give you rain in due season.
What? He said what?
Then I will give you rain in due season.
Meaning what? You ain't going to eat, you ain't going to drink, you ain't doing nothing without rain. So he's letting you know that your prosperity is based on you keeping the commandments. That's what that's saying right there. Read.
And the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit.
That's letting you know right there that the Most High, he will jack you up, jack up your crops and everything else if you in sin. He letting you know, look, I'll bless you. If you do what I tell you to do, then I'm going to bless you with some rain. Let you know who controls the weather. Let's jump down. Let's go to Sirach.
The book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance.
So we talking about spirits, read.
Which in their fury lay on sore strokes.
Read.
In the time of destruction, they pour out their force.
Read.
And appease the wrath of him that made them.
Let you know what? All this stuff that goes down is pleasing to the Most High, based on how he see fit for it to go down. Read.
Fire.
Say what?
Fire.
So he uses what? Fire.
And
Read.
hail.
And hail.
And famine.
So how does he cause famines? If you ain't got no rain, you're going to have a famine. Read.
And death. All these were created for vengeance.
All right. Keep reading.
Teeth of wild beasts.
You might get bit by a dog.
Get rabies.
Esau always out there in the jungle getting ate by lions and bears and all that.
And scorpions.
Uh-huh.
Serpents. And the sword.
Shot down in the street. Brothers getting shot down. Selling drugs. Next thing you know, they shot down in the street. That's your modern day sword. Read.
Punishing the wicked to destruction.
That's letting you know that's all of that is part of judgment. The weather, all of that is judgment. Read.
They shall rejoice in his commandment.
They all commanded by the Most High God. So when a wicked Negro gets shot down, guess what? The Most High commanded that to happen. That's the Most High doing that. Read.
And they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when the time is come, they shall not transgress his word.
Meaning what? When he got them crosshairs on you, you done. Once he make the call, that's it. It's a wrap.
That thing said hell, though. We got that video of that hailstorm that happened in Mexico. Pull that thing up. That's in there. Yeah, pull that video.
Pull that hailstorm up that happened in Mexico real quick. This is like a real
It
story.
said fire and hell. Look at this. All for judgments. Not that one. It should be 2 tractor trailers on the front of the joint. It should be right there. Yeah, pull out with the red tractor trailers at the front. Yeah, play that. So that we saw some of that vicious hail in that other video.
So before you doze off, let's take a look at some of the moments that are making you say,
Wow, wow.
tonight. Look at this one. An icy surprise in Mexico. A hailstorm dumped more than 6 feet of ice in Guadalajara. It damaged homes and cars, but luckily no one was
Look at
hurt.
the puppy.
I mean, look at the surprise of that. Like, no one was hurt, so the bizarre summer storm caught the
Whoa.
city by surprise, obviously. Temperatures there have been in
Just an
the
ice storm in the
90s.
middle of the 90s?
I
What
mean,
is going on?
Somebody might be like, is this the apocalypse? What is
All right, so you might want to avoid Alabama.
Hold on. Hopefully y'all caught that. It says 6 feet of ice in 90-degree
In
weather.
the 90s, man.
And Esau laughing like, ha, 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 it's so funny. Yeah, it's going to be funny when you on top of that new cloud. That's what's going to be the laugh. I'm going to tell you that right now. We're going to be laughing hard. Run the next video, the climate change video.
It's a disastrous new normal. Catastrophic fires, once contained to one season, now a harrowing year-round battle.
We gotta go.
A major factor, climate change.
There are tens of millions of people that are choking on climate change right now as a function of the smoke that these fires are producing.
In the last 40 years, fall temperatures in California have increased about 2 degrees, while precipitation has dropped about 30%. And with acres of overgrown forests, there's more fuel to burn, and it's not just in the countryside.
We've essentially built a nightmare into flammable landscapes made even worse by climate change.
Over 100 million homes now in what's called the wildland-urban interface, where neighborhoods and forests meet.
Instead of Smokey Bear in the middle of the woods, we need a Smokey Bear in the middle of suburbia.
We left 2 hours before the house burned down.
In 2017, the Tubbs Fire tore through the city of Santa Rosa. Today, nearly 80% of the homes that were destroyed here have been or are being rebuilt. And while the community is coming back, the pain still lingers.
I have this just in my nightstand with what we need to take if we have to go.
Jennifer and Paul Rose rebuilt for a new climate.
So there's about, I think, 5 or 6 feet between the house and the wooden fence.
New features now required for fireproofing, including more defensible space, non-combustible materials, and covered chimney outlets to prevent escaping embers. But the Rosés say they're still living in fear of losing it all again and are seriously considering moving away altogether, becoming climate refugees.
It makes us feel very trapped. It makes you feel like there's nowhere to go. Having to live like that is emotionally unsustainable.
If the fires are this bad now, what does it look like in 5 to 10 years?
Climate change is moving fast, and we need to move faster.
A harrowing forecast for our planet and a grave new world for families. Steve Patterson, NBC News, Santa Rosa, California.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube.
He's all funny as hell with they stuff. Hey, look, don't worry about the planet. The earth gonna be fine once the Most High eradicates you. We ain't gonna be worried about no more climate change, so don't worry about it.
Did you hear the new thing now? I'm a climate refugee.
They more like a climate fugitive. Let's go to Psalms 148 and 8.
The book of Psalms, chapter 148 and verse 8. Fire and hail, snow and vapors, stormy wind, fulfilling his word.
Fulfilling the Most High's word. So all of those things that we just said, fire, hail, snow, vapor, everything to do with the weather is fulfilling the Most High's word. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of times people forget that these different elements, they got spirits in them. Give me Proverbs 8 real quick. Proverbs 8:22 through 29. Like the lady said, oh, it's 6 feet between a house and the wall. You dumb. The fire is going to skip to the house. If the Most High wills it, it's going to happen. Why you think these forest fires will start on one side of the road and then they'll skip across the road and get the other side?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 22. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way.
So this is talking about Christ. Read.
Before his works of old.
So Christ was there in the very beginning, before the Most High created the earth. Read.
I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was.
Read.
When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains, abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth.
So the Most High established all of these things and Christ was there. So you telling me that he don't control these elements when he created the elements. Read on.
While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world.
Read.
When he prepared the heavens, I was there.
Okay. Christ was there. Read on.
When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep.
The oceans, deep oceans. Read.
When he gave to the sea his decree.
So he gave the sea a decree, a commandment. He gave the elements, the fire, the dew. He gave them a decree, a commandment on how to conduct themselves. That's why we said these like the fire has a spirit in that thing. The tempest, we was reading earlier how the tempest would go, move. We got the tornadoes that was destroying certain things, but it'll leave other things alone. That's because they had a commandment, an order. You got something, officer?
When he gave to the sea his decree that the waters should not pass his commandments.
You see that thing? So that's why the water doesn't go up on the shore. It stays, you got high tide, low tide. But it follows that order that the Most High gave it. And it doesn't do its own thing or floating in the air. It has an order and a guideline that the Most High established it from the beginning. So just like all of the rest of these elements in this earth, they follow his orders. Now give me, before you get that next, give me John 3 and 8. John chapter 3, verse 8. I want to make it's really the top part that I want to pinpoint. Christ is speaking about this thing.
The book of John, chapter 3 and verse 8. The wind bloweth where it listeth.
You see that thing? Christ is letting you know the wind going to blow wherever it listens. Wherever it wants to go, it's going to blow. Read.
And thou hearest the sound thereof.
You can hear it, but
canst not tell whence it cometh.
You don't know where it's coming from, where it's going, but you could just hear it.
And whither it goeth. So is every one that is born of the Spirit.
Now let's jump. Now let's get Exodus 3 and 2. You got something, officer?
Nah, that thing heavy, man, because it said it come out of his treasures, man. Lord bring the wind out of his treasures. We don't know where that thing coming from. Like I said, you can feel it, you can hear it, but you can't see it, man. That just letting you know it's a spirit, man.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 2. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire.
See this right here? This is talking about Moses. So the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, unto Moses. Read. It was a flame of fire. Read.
Out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed.
You see that thing? That's the Most High God. He gave the fire a commandment. Burn on the bush, but don't destroy the bush. Now get the next verse. Get Psalms 78.
The book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 47. He destroyeth their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost.
You see that? He destroying it with hail and frost. Read.
He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts.
You see that thing? He killing the cattle with hail and with thunder. So he pinpointing, targeting, practicing, killing us. Say, okay, all of these cattle belong to them. Kill them all with lightning and hail. Read.
49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger.
You see that thing?
Wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
There you go. So these angels coming out there and they using the elements to bring forth the Most High's wrath. Get Exodus 9 and 24.
The book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 24. So there was hail, and fire mingled with the hail.
Now that right there is a work of the Most High God. There's ice and fire mingled together.
Icy hot coming down.
Yeah, icy hot coming down on the earth. And that thing, they can't look. Esau can't even recreate that thing. Read.
So there was hail, and fire mingled with the hail. Very grievous.
Very grievous. Just imagine that thing. You got hail coming down. It hits the earth, and it's like fire bombs blowing up all over the place.
Such as there was none like in all of the land of Egypt since it became a nation.
Yep. And you got to think the Most High did all of this thing because what? Because of the children of Israel. Right. So now who going to catch that wrath this time?
Right. Like I said, for correction. That's what it came out for.
Who going to catch that wrath?
And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast. Mm-hmm. And the hail smote every herb of the field.
Because of the Most High's wrath. So he destroyed their crops. He brought forth the famine.
And brake every tree of the field. Mm-hmm. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail.
You see that thing? So the weatherman can't predict that. It's going to be hail and fire mixed, and icy hot coming down from the sky is going to destroy the kingdom of Egypt, but yet it's not going to touch this city that's maybe a couple of miles from the city. You see what I'm saying? Didn't even touch it. The Most High controlled. That's because the Most High gave these elements in order, a commandment, and they fulfilled it. Let's get the next verse.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16,
20,
and verse 26. Yeah. That thy children, O Lord, whom thou lovest, might know that it is not the growing of fruits that nourisheth man, but that is thy word, which preserveth them that put their trust in thee. Mm-hmm. For that which was not destroyed of fire, being warmed with a little sunbeam, soon melted away. That it might be known that we must prevent the sun to give thee thanks, and at the dayspring pray unto thee. Mm-hmm. For the hope of the unthankful shall melt away as the winter's hoar frost, and shall run away as unprofitable water.
You see that thing? Hey, the Most High is amazing. It's so many examples throughout the scriptures where the Most High is controlling the elements, and we just read earlier in Exodus where Psalms, where evil angels use the elements to destroy man, to destroy crops, to destroy the cattle, and to kill men. But yet we believed that today, oh no, it's the weatherman.
Right.
He knows what's really
No, it's
going
Bill
on.
Gates now. He's
It's
the
Bill Gates.
weatherman. That's his superhero
Bill
name, the
Gates
weatherman.
knows what's going on now.
And they talk about how the sun melted the frost away and all that, and how crops grew as a result of that. That's letting you know the Lord is in control of all that, man.
But because you gotta look at it. Like we just saw that video clip about Mexico with the ice, 6 feet of ice in 90-degree weather.
But imagine that thing was on fire like we read in
It would have
Exodus. That
devastated.
thing, come on,
It would
man.
have destroyed everything.
And people out here playing.
Let's get this video. Y'all ready?
Heavenly Father, please help us. Please help us to be safe. I'm thankful for Jeremy and his willingness to be brave. Oh my God, please God, please God, oh my God, oh my God, please leave the horses there, please God, please. Look at this tunnel, oh my God, oh my God. 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 Please, God, please. Oh my God. Oh my God. Please let me out of here. Please, God. Please, God. Please let me out of here. Please, God. Please. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Esau is crazy.
They praying now, but they wasn't praying when they passed that pedophilia bill. Understand that.
Esau.
Swift judgment, man.
Esau's crying because their kingdom is burning. Hey, get Daniel's 3.
The
4
book of
through
Daniel,
6.
chapter 3 and verse 4. Then an herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear that the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up."
So
And-
they had us worshiping these idols at a certain tomb. Read.
And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
So if you didn't worship their idol, they will burn you to death. Now let's jump to 12.
Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
So yeah, they said, nah, we ain't doing that. Let's jump to the point. 16.
Verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spoke and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated.
Read on.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in the army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
You see that thing? This thing was so hot that the dudes that was grabbing them to throw them in and got close burnt up themselves. Read on.
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
So hold up. They didn't burn up. They sitting up there. They bound, but they in the fire. They like, but the other dudes that threw them in burnt up. That's because, once again, Most High gave a commandment. Don't harm my servants. Read. Is that it on that?
Then Nebuchadnezzar was astonied and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
You see that thing? Christ came down, that thing was up in there with him. They all dancing in the fire.
Right, rebuke the fire, man.
Hey, that's because the fire obeys the Most High God. It's that simple. So when you see all of these wildfires over in California, the Most High sent them thing. And they're going to keep on burning until he decides enough.
Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. And the princes, governors, and captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them.
You see that thing? Like, after you see something like that, these heathens probably was scared. It's like, these dudes can't be killed. We threw them in the fire. Our men died trying to throw them in the fire. We threw them in, and they not even touched by the fire. That right there probably put fear in them dudes, for real. They said, hey, let's give these dudes whatever they want. They don't got to bow down to the idols. Just give them whatever they want.
That's why he was so quick to say, your God delivered you.
Uh-huh. Now let's jump to Numbers 16:29.
The book of Numbers, chapter 16 and verse 29. If these men die in the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up.
You see that thing? The earth opened its mouth to swallow. So that's precision and targeting. Say, oh, you want to be a Negro? I'm going to open my mouth and swallow you up. Read.
With all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit. Then you shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Provoked the Lord, had angered the Lord. Read.
And it came to pass, as he made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
That's what happens with rebellious Negroes.
Right.
Read on.
And their houses, and all the men that appeared unto Korah, and all their goods.
So it didn't affect everybody else. It specifically was for these individuals. So that means the Most High created the earth, and the earth obeyed the commandment. Read on.
They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them.
So so it ain't this is not no earthquake where earth shatters. This thing opened up, these dudes fell in, and it closed back up. Read on.
And they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
You see that? So you followed after that foolishness. The Most High put them to death with fire.
Sinkhole and then the flames. Play that video real quick about the sinkholes, man. Watch this. That's what we're reading about.
Welcome back to Top 5s. Today we're doing the top 5 largest sinkholes captured on video. Number 5. A man in Russia is on his way to work, but suddenly he notices something unusual take place in front of him. A large cement truck sinks into the street. According to authorities, this event was actually caused by a small sinkhole. Luckily, however, the driver managed to escape unharmed. Number 4. There appears to be a fairly large pothole in the middle of this highway. Drivers react accordingly by avoiding the obstruction. But over time, the pothole forms into something much more menacing. A large chunk of road falls away, revealing a massive sinkhole. This must be the worst time to be stuck in traffic, but thankfully everyone eventually manages to get out of danger. Number 3.
Yeah, man. Hey, a lot of things. And these sinkholes, they just appear out of nowhere. In your house, in the middle of the street, anywhere. Them things just appear. Once again, that's the earth following the orders of the Most High, the commandment of the Most High.
The book of Numbers, chapter 11 and verse 1. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord.
You see that? The Most High don't like murmuring and complaining.
And the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp.
See that thing? So the Most High destroyed the people with wildfires. Yep. Get that next video.
California, fires burning at both ends of the state, blazing temperatures and strong winds, giving birth to this, a massive firenado. Touchdown Saturday near the Nevada border.
It is incredibly dangerous because of how erratic the fire behavior is. I mean, think about it. You actually have a whirling column of air with wind speeds possibly exceeding 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100 miles per hour on fire.
The firenado warning came in the afternoon. Residents in the area told to take cover. In the end, no injuries were reported. Meteorologists still concerned.
So the fire was burning incredibly intense yesterday. And even looking out our window right now, it's doing it again today.
Not seen in California since 2018, when the strongest tornado in state history emerged out of the Carr Fire. An EF3 with over 136 mile-per-hour winds. The size of the latest firenado is unclear, part of the Loyalton wildfire, which began to burn 2 days ago, spanning 20,000 acres, 5% contained. At one point, the fire jumped a highway, trapping vehicles. Everyone's now out of harm's way.
We're never going to get this close to a fire like this ever again.
The fire sparked, meteorologists believe, by lightning, which is also a concern outside of Los Angeles, where the aerial assault on the lake fire continues. It's only 12% contained. 1,500 firefighters battling the blaze. Meanwhile, the Bay Area is now recovering from what climate scientists called a wild night, with unusual lightning and thunderstorms, raising the region's fire risk, with small fires reported in remote areas.
Aaron, California had 2 planned rolling power outages this weekend. Will there be any more of those?
Kate, the state's power grid is urging Californians to prepare for the possibility of more power outages, asking that they conserve energy until at least Wednesday. Meanwhile, authorities are telling everyone to.
Hey, man. Hey, you see that thing? The Most High commanded the wind and the fire to work together to destroy, and the lightning, bringing forth his wrath. Hey, let's get 2 Kings 1, 6 through 10.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 1, verses 6 through 10. And they said unto him, there came a man up to meet us and said unto us, go, turn again unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord, it is not because there is not a God in Israel that thou sendest to inquire of Beelzebub, the god of Ekron. Therefore thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die.
Read.
And he said unto them, what manner of man as he which came up to meet you, and told you these words? And they answered him, he was an hairy man, and girt with a girdle of leather about his loins. And he said, it is Elijah the Tishbite. Then the king sent to him a captain of 50 with his 50. And he went up to him. And behold, he sat on top of an hill. And he spoke unto him, thou man of God, the king hath said, come down. And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I be a man of God, then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
Hey, but leave them prophets alone. Hey, Elijah made that fire come down from the sky and destroyed him and the 50. Man, hey, that's power right there. We got a little. Well, nah, that's what we're gonna use as the last scripture. We're gonna leave as the last scripture. So with that, family, shalom. Most High and Christ bless.
Shalom.
Shalom,
Most High and
family.
Christ
Most High
bless.
and Christ bless.